Justin Warfield, Cool Like the Blues on KEXP Seattle from the album My Field Trip to Planet 9. The Boo Radleys right before that, doing a tune off the album Giant Steps. Rodney King, Song for Lenny Bruce, and The Streets starting it all off. Let's push things forward. That is a mix off the new non-album tracks is the name of this release. It's remixing tunes from the debut full-length from The Streets called Original Pirate Material. We're going to be joining Bettie Serveert from Holland live in the KEXP studios, and that will be just at the end of this song, I do believe. They'll be ready to go. It's Carol Van Dyke and Peter Visser who'll be they're the two main forces behind the band playing live here in the KEXP studios coming up just a few minutes away, so do stay tuned for that. And right now we'll finish off the hour with a little Bettie Serveert from the album Wide-Eyed Fools. This is White Dogs on KEXP.
Keep on smiling now, just like we did before, chewing on a lazy conversation. There ain't no past anymore, but suddenly you're tempted. And you talk about all of your wonderful dreams. You talk about all of the places you've been. Oh, Armadillo, can we deal with this on a Sunday afternoon? Oh, by myself on a ledge not too far from Cuba. Out and you just stand there. How I feel stupid. Now I know we shouldn't talk about it, and I know we shouldn't even be here, 'cause we did so well without it. Now ain't it funny how it reappears? How does it feel to be like you're something on a move, when all you bet just slowly fade away? Run with the white dogs and don't even think about it. Keep on smiling now, just like we did before, but you went on a lazy conversation. There ain't no past anymore, and suddenly you're tempted. Run with the white dog, don't be ashamed about it. And I know we shouldn't talk about it, and I know we shouldn't even be here, 'cause we did so well without it. Now ain't it funny how it reappears? And you talk about all of the wonderful dreams. You talk about all of the places you've been. Oh, Armadillo, can we deal with this on a Sunday afternoon? Can we deal with this on a Sunday afternoon? Oh, let's deal with this on a Sunday afternoon. Keep on smiling now. Keep on smiling now. I'm not your conquest, you can't conquer me, and you'll never tie me down unless you set me free. It's not just a word, you know. 'Cause ever since the age of what you wanted? Is this what you need? When you look at yourself, can you still say I'm glad to be me?
That is Bettie Serveert on KEXP from the new album Log 22. And now now they're live in the KEXP studios. Peter Visser and Carol Van Dyke, welcome to KEXP.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And to Seattle. You're playing tonight at the Crocodile. Just discovered that's where you've played before, so that's your spot.
Yeah,
That's your hangout when you come to Seattle.
it is. That's
Like every 6 years, I think.
So we're very, very glad you're here. I just want to jump into asking you about the album right away, because that track you just played, it starts out acoustic and it ends up rocking, and you just have a lot of dynamics on this new album. It's your 5th studio release, and I'm very curious how you compare this to your other efforts. You got a lot of attention for the first full-length release, I think less so for the ones in the middle, and now I don't know how college radio around is or radio in general here and abroad is reacting to this album, but I just feel it's one of your strongest ones yet as a
Thanks.
whole.
Thank you.
So, how should I answer this question?
I don't know. Do you want some notes? I'll make some.
No, I think this one is. We made it most of it at my house, at my living room, because I bought this 16-track recorder, which I built a table around. So when you record and make up stuff at home, it's way more fun than with all the pressure and the expensiveness of the studio. So
We didn't have any money at that point, so we just recorded it at his place.
So time wasn't a factor as
No.
a side effect of having no money.
No,
and
but
having
actually
a
it
home
went a
studio.
lot faster than any other record before. I think it was about 5 months.
more or less, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Is that because you had so much material?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
And we just worked almost every day, like 12
And
hours.
at nights,
And at night.
because it's way more cool to play at night with the headphones on, bottle of wine, cigarette,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can do what you want. No one is checking it. So that was a lot of fun.
That is the atmosphere we should be creating in this room right now, huh? To
Yeah,
get
it
to
feels
get
like
your
it.
best playing from you.
The lights are dimmed already, so I feel.
Yeah, and it's got that sort of basement, recreational feel here in the
Mhm.
Leopard
Yes.
Lounge. So you got your leopard
Indeed.
skin couch and your orange and red carpeting. So
we
hopefully that'll inspire you.
Yeah, totally.
But you were telling me, Carol, you did everything on this album yourselves. Not only did you record it yourselves, you've distributed it yourselves and marketed it and done everything. You design the cover and do the packaging? I mean, you really did it all.
Well, actually, distribution is through Parasol here in the United States. So that's the only part that we don't do ourselves. But like merchandise, video clips, promo photos, artwork, everything. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Yeah, and then it's been a while, hasn't it, since you've toured here in the States?
Yeah.
That's been 2.5 years, but we haven't been in the West Coast for a long time.
And it sounds like you've been in really high demand since you've come here this time. Just kind of a grueling tour up and down the East Coast and
Right.
lots of radio
Mostly.
interviews.
Mostly East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that this time around we're doing the full circle. Sorry.
That's okay. Are you ready to play a tune from the album?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did you decide on? This will be a surprise to all of us.
For me too, because it's up to Carol what we're gonna play.
Okay.
You
Does
never
Carol
know.
does Carol do this during a typical show then? Do you
Yeah.
tell the band
Yeah.
as you're going?
Yeah. Peter is the boss, or Mr. Captain in the studio.
Right.
And on stage, I'm the boss.
But that's a good division of
Yeah,
labor.
totally. We never diverse from that. It's like a strict rule. It
And
works.
And actually, that's what Peter and I were talking about doing an interview. Like, let's not talk exactly about what we're going to talk about because that keeps things fresh, which I firmly live by. And so it keeps things fresh if you're live on the stage and you're
Should
just
be, yeah.
letting the band know as you go along what's popping
Well,
in your
sometimes we
mind.
do have a set list, but you never know if that's going to be the exact following order or the songs or.
Or I might skip one somewhere
Yeah.
in the
And
middle of the show.
does that happen? Because are you choosing things that you're inspired to play in that moment?
Yeah. I feel like the only way to sing is from the heart. So if I don't feel like singing a certain song at that moment, I'll just skip it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe just not put it on the set list. The guys don't always agree with that, but then again, they don't have to sing it,
Right. Right.
We have to play it.
right? But that's different.
Yeah.
And this guy too. Actually, we're going to attempt a sort of karaoke thing here.
Oh, wow. We're
Beca-
lucky.
I hope so.
What does
Or
that mean,
maybe
Carol?
not. It means that Peter and I made a rhythm track to these songs, and we put it on CD.
Oh,
So it's a
yeah.
little different from the record, but you'll have the feel of a full band.
So this is an experiment we're doing.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
All right.
And it's either going to work or not.
We had our best engineer in the world, Julian Martlew, set
Yeah,
that up
but I
for
have
you,
to-
so it should
I
work.
have to play the CD, and I don't know how the thing works. So,
You press play.
shall we
Do you know
try?
what the play button is? Yeah, give it a try. Bettie Serveert's live here at KEXP, and they're playing tonight at the Crocodile with the Long Winters opening up, and they're going to do a... Well, what is the song you're doing?
We're going to play Smack.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Seesaw, jigsaw puzzle. Seesaw, seesaw, jigsaw puzzle. Smack in the middle of ridiculous places. Smack in the middle where I shouldn't have been. Smack in the middle when I know where the case is. Baby, if you know how to count, you can count me. Seesaw, seesaw, jigsaw puzzle. Seesaw, seesaw, jigsaw puzzle. When the soul has forgotten what it means to be loved, and you think you hit the bottom of enough is enough. Hey, I'll be fine, I'm just losing my mind. I'll be fine, I'm just wasting my time. And I fell smack in the middle of ridiculous puzzle. Seesaw, seesaw, jigsaw puzzle. Seesaw, seesaw, jigsaw puzzle.
Bettie Serveert live in the KEXP studios. I thought that was great. How'd you think that went? They were, for those who just tuned in, they were playing with a recording that I guess your drummer made.
No, we did it ourselves.
Oh, you just did that?
Yeah.
And we did it by hand, therefore it's not in riff. May I say that word? Or
Well, no, you can't,
No.
I'm sorry about
but
that.
that's okay,
Watch
Peter.
your
Screwed.
language. Watch your language.
These mild-mannered people from the Netherlands, and yet. But what did you think, Carol? You were laughing.
Well, I was wondering if he was going to stop the CD on time because there's another track behind it.
To me, although not being as critical as you guys are of yourselves, I thought that sounded great. But is it hard?
Thanks.
Is it hard to play with a recording you made versus a live
Definitely.
person?
Yeah.
First of all, there's no vision, there's no eye contact with
Yeah.
the certain drummer.
Yeah, and there's a feel, like Carol was just talking about that. There's a feel
Mm-hmm.
between musicians, and
Oh, yeah, totally.
You have
I
to play on
prefer
that.
Should, yeah.
a live drummer. But in this certain particular situation, it
But-
was easier.
but when you get your CD, when you leave today, I think you'll agree that it sounded pretty good.
All right.
We'll see about that.
Well, hearing that tune made me wonder, and just the variety of tunes on the various 5 albums you put out. I mean, can you talk a little about the inspiration for these songs, where that might come from, or is it a lot of places? Are you a real prolific songwriter, or are these things come slowly to you? Do they form, is it something that forms in your mind and then you bring it to the band and you flesh it out, or does everyone contribute? Can you talk a little about that songwriting process?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've noticed that most of the time when I write a lot of songs, it's like in periods. Either I write a lot or nothing at all. And most of the time it has to do with the fact that I have a personal life or not. Like when we're on tour all the time, which I enjoy immense. I love playing and traveling. But I don't write a lot during tours because the only places I see is the inside of the van, hotel, and venue. So I can't really go out and put myself into weird situations, which the song Smack is about. And meet people and go out, and because there's always a certain point that I need to go back to the hotel, I need to go back into the van. There's a scheduled life. When I'm at home for like a couple of months, I have that total freedom. I can do whatever I want. I travel a lot on my own. So I get to know a lot of people and places and situations. And of course there's like art, books, film.
That inspire the songs.
It's not only music, it's the whole thing combined with each other.
And then Peter, you're the boss in the studio, so
Yeah, what we mostly did, the game we played, as I can say it that way, is that mostly Carol came up with like lyrics and half-written songs, chord structures and all that, and so we recorded it at my house, mostly like basically the vocals and an acoustic guitar and some simple rhythm track. And she had a side project in Belgium, in Antwerp, where she's playing with a country outfit called Chitlin Fuchs. So after she'd left, I had mostly 1 or 2 weeks to work on the rest of the tracks. So if it's a 16 track machine, there were 13 tracks open. And so I listened to what we had recorded, and I started to associate with what genre or band or song it reminded me of. And then I tried to make it musically as much as over the top in that direction as possible. For instance, when I listened to the vocals of the Diva, it reminded me a little bit of that pompous sound of the band Muse. So that's when the big rock guitars and the grand piano came in. And with Captain of Maybe, I thought it was a little bit ambient. So therefore, it's all the water falling down type of synths. And
Right,
Log
right.
22
The outdoor
reminded me
feel.
of Roxy Music, Both Ends Burning. In fact,
Mhm.
you can sing Both Ends Burning like
That's
the whole
his-
song.
Yeah, that's his thing because I don't hear that.
And that's
I
okay.
don't hear
Yeah.
Roxy Music in KEXP maybe.
Do you agree with the other
in Log
things
22,
that
I
he
mean.
just said, or do you also not hear those things?
Partly, yeah.
You
but
could see where he heard that, but not in that particular
yeah,
track.
but I think that's okay if he sees that, and he can take it a step further, because I cannot be objective to my own songs. It's very hard for me. I'm looking at it like from 5 centimeters.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you go away and come back, as Peter was just describing, he's added all this music to the structure of the songs. What's
Not
your
always to
reaction?
her delight, I must say.
Yeah, well, sometimes I was totally surprised because I live half in Amsterdam and half in Antwerp, so I go back and forth. And every time I would come back to Amsterdam, where Peter lives, he would totally surprise me. Like the first song on the record is called Wide Eyed Fools.
Yeah.
When I went back to Antwerp, there was only my acoustic guitar, a rhythm track that I picked that I really liked, and the vocals. And that was it. So 2 weeks later, to my surprise, he had added all these extra instruments. And I was like, wow, how did you get this on tape? He did the bass line, for instance. I didn't even know that he could play the bass.
After all these years. You didn't know that either?
No. Because I called Herman, our bass player, and I said, well, I have this tune, can you play bass on it? But he was in school at the time, so he was totally occupied and busy. And we made ourselves a deadline for the demo, otherwise you're going to work on it too long and you make it too smooth or too over
Yeah, you
sugared.
overwork it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he couldn't make it, and then I thought, well, if you're not going to be here, I have to do it myself. And that was interesting because I learned to play the bass a little bit, but he redid it
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
it's-
studio because he's a way better bass player than I am. So.
Yeah, true.
But you sound like one of those people, and from the little bit I've read about you, who can pick stuff up, like you were just describing how you hear different sounds in something that aren't there yet, you know. So you seem like the kind of person who could probably check out any instrument.
Well, that's
and
the
be
privilege of playing at home. You know, I'm not a keyboard player, but if you have a lot of time, and with those machines, you can like edit a lot. So on the piano part I talked about, there was 5 nights before that was down. So
But what a sense of accomplishment when that's completed, and you
That
know
feels
it's the way you
great.
want it.
But you
yeah.
could never do that in a real studio because of the money.
Yeah, time is money in a studio,
yeah.
so that was the one advantage
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
to. Well, I don't know if it's the one and only advantage, but it's a big advantage to recording.
One
at
of
home.
them, actually, because another advantage was that I could pick any moment that I liked, like day or night, to do the vocals. And when you're in
Yeah.
the studio, it's like, okay, you're next.
And
Even
again,
if you feel like singing or not.
exactly. Again, you might not be there for that song.
Mhm.
And she felt way more safe at my house
Relaxed.
because there was no other people.
Relaxed. isn't
Relax.
it?
Okay.
Well,
To
and
hold it back.
I heard the wine was really good too
The-
at your house. The wine.
The wine, his wine, yeah.
She's a beer
my
person
beer
herself.
and his wine.
Bettie Serveert's live here in the KEXP studios. They're playing tonight at the Crocodile, which is apparently the venue they play when they come to Seattle, no matter how many years may go in
Yeah.
between. So thank goodness that's one of the venues that's just still around. And you're going to do another song off Log 22, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which one?
I got to check out the machine again.
Okay.
I think that song is called Given, but you might hear the sound of the back end.
Might hear Smack again.
Yes.
That'd be okay.
If that is, we play Smack again.
No, do it right. It's a second.
You can experiment. This is experimental radio.
Okay. really hard to leave. Heaven is a place where I'll be rolling down my sleeve. What is she thinking? Is it a ransom? Leave all the answers on the borderline. Leaving all
Bettie Serveert live here in the KEXP studios. You did that track yourselves too. What were you drumming on?
It was a sample.
All right.
It's different from the record.
That's a very challenging thing that they're doing here in the studio is they recorded some percussion and they're playing with it rather than a live human being. I'm sure you'll be glad to get back to your drummer tonight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we totally appreciate him.
Now you have a new drummer, or relatively new to your band, right?
That
First
is
time
true.
he's heard in
Yeah.
the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard there was some funny story about his name.
Jerome.
Yeah, his real name is Jeroen. Jeroan. But nobody can pronounce
Jeroen.
it, so...
They
And then a friend of us in New York, she came up with the name. Why don't you call him Jerome? And we said, that's his name from now on.
So you had
He
to give him
responds to it now.
you had to give him a brand new name.
And he
Sad
loves
but
it.
true. Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like he can develop an alter ego out of
Mm-hmm.
this whole project.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was just thinking as I'm listening to that was beautiful, by the way, one of the more dreamy songs. But I what I love about this album and Bettie Serveert in general is you do have a lot of sonic dynamics on all your albums, and that tune's a great example because Peter, you came in there. You know, it's atmospheric in some places, and then you come in with sort of a rock guitar sound. And I guess
Which was kind of too loud for Carol because she gave me the evil eye and then didn't know what to do. So
I
I.
couldn't take my headphones off. That was like
Thanks for that.
piercing loud.
By the way, Diva.
or your headphones, we turn them up a little loud for you. Or
No. I love his guitar playing. Really, I do. It's just
seriously, or they wouldn't have been together this long.
We wouldn't have been friends for more than 20 years if I didn't like his guitar playing. But it was piercingly loud in my phone.
Sounded great over here.
Yeah,
You're-
well, that's the whole point. That's the most important thing. Who cares that I'm suffering?
You have to suffer for your art, Carol.
Sure you do.
I'm sure you've heard that
just
before. Yeah, you just did, just right in
No.
front of us.
No, it's just joking.
But Peter, I don't know if you can speak to this more general question about how you developed that style. Are you thinking about, is it like what you just described about hearing the bare bones of Carol's songs
You
and
know what?
hearing something in your own head?
I
Or
thought about it this morning, and I think it's because I'm easily bored, and because all the time when I go into a subject like guitar playing or painting or writing, I get so easily bored, and from that moment on, I try to deconstruct, I think, the thing that I'm doing. So a couple of people told me that the guitar playing on this album is anti-guitar playing, and I was really pleased with that. So let's call it that.
let's
I
call
guess.
it
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Then can I ask you something similar, Carol, with your singing? Because you definitely have a unique voice and your own style. Is that something?
Thank you.
Is that something you developed? Is it something that you studied?
Well, actually, I studied classical music from the age 9 until 18. And it was more like theory.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you weren't necessarily using your voice in
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
context?
One
Oh,
part
you
of
were.
it was like singing in the choir, the school choir.
Mm-hmm.
And my teacher told me that I could not sing. So that was the only part when I did exams. That was the only part that he gave me like a D or an E, like really bad. And I believed him. So for many years, there was no way that I was going to sing in public. Because a lot of other friends around me said that I could not sing. And I totally believed that. So, it was by coincidence. Actually, when I got to know Peter, I think I was about 19 or 20, and some other people who were friends of his. And they said, well, why don't you sing? So very carefully I started. I was already writing songs, but
You didn't think you'd be the voice behind them?
no, I thought, well, maybe if I can sell them and let somebody else sing them, it would be better. So,
Yeah, that's what Carole King did for a while. So.
mm-hmm.
And then decided to sing her own songs.
Yeah.
But that's amazing, and it just proves a point about, I mean, maybe your voice wasn't right for the kind of classical theory you were studying,
Like technical singing, like Mariah Carey and stuff, like the real singers. There's no way I can do that. So I sort of had to find my own way.
And your own voice is something, but look how many people find that so totally appealing. So that's a very interesting story. This message just in from a listener asking, which 16-track recorder is the band using?
That's a secret.
Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, why not?
Well, seeing as you won't
It's-
get Peter with it, it probably won't, that's not going to take away from...
It's a what is
Can you
it?
call name the brand?
Yeah, I guess it's
Are
a
you
question,
allowed
and
to?
it's a Vostex 16-track hard disk recording.
It's a Playtex Cross Your
Thing.
Heart 16-track.
Yeah, and that's all I remember about it.
Okay, so there you go. Peter gives away a trade secret right here on KEXP.
And the microphone was a very cheap P-Volt M. No.
Peter Visser and Carol Van Dyke from Bettie Serveert are here in the studio. The full band will be with them tonight when they play at the Crocodile, though you guys are the cornerstones, I guess, in a way of, I mean, isn't it? Isn't it true? You do the songwriting, Carol, and
Mm-hmm.
Peter, you do so much of the production
Yeah.
and the
But
guitar
we couldn't do
that's
it
so
without
unique.
them, obviously. So
No, obviously not.
No, there were a lot of musicians who contributed to this this record, and all the other players. They were just as important, I think. Like the other drummer, we have 2 drummers on this record,
Hmm.
and the horn player is
Yeah.
the girl who plays the strings.
it's not the Grammys, Carol.
Oh,
No,
I can tell these guys have known each other for 20 years. But speaking of, like you just said, you couldn't have done this without the other musicians, and they each added a unique element. And I did
Definitely.
want to ask, particularly with Chitlin Fuchs, your
Mm-hmm.
side project that was more country-ish, as Peter said. And Peter, you've done some other projects, obviously, as well. And
Yeah.
were there things about those projects that you brought back to Bettie Serveert?
We both brought a drummer.
That's why hence
Yeah.
the two drummers.
Exactly. Yeah, we learned a lot.
Maybe sounds and experiences that
Totally.
influence your sound as Bettie Serveert.
Mm-hmm.
She learned a lot about songwriting, arranging, and I learned a lot about arranging and playing guitar, I guess.
Mhm.
'Cause,
Oh yeah, I could immediately tell the difference
Huh.
after him playing in another band for 6 months. That was different. You learn
Mhm.
to play different.
Well, let's hear one more tune off. Are you
Yeah.
Log 22?
Yeah, yeah.
We're going
yeah,
to play
I
them all
was-
off Log 22. And Bettie Serveert's playing tonight at the Crocodile. The Long Winters are opening up. Should be a fantastic show. It's certainly been a treat having you in the studios this
Thanks for
afternoon.
having us. What are we gonna play? Can we play a song that's not on any record actually?
Lovely. Yeah, whatever
Okay.
you feel inspired to do.
It's one called All the Other Fish. You ready, Pierre?
Yeah.
Okay. You smile so sweetly when you dream, and you point out all the other fish around. Well, maybe it's just the opposite, and I don't want to go through that, 'cause I think that you already know. Ain't it funny how the street seems so gray when even the brightest colors seem much brighter yesterday, and all you can think of is how to get away. You say you don't wanna tie me down, and you point out all the other fish around. Well, maybe it's just the opposite, and I don't want to go through that, 'cause I think that you already know. Ain't it funny how the street seems so gray when even the ones you love seem to turn their heads away, and all you can think of is how to get away.
The distinctive sounds of Bettie Serveert live here in the KEXP studios. A tune that may have never been heard before by the majority of our listeners, unless you've played that at some shows.
Yeah, sometimes, occasionally.
It's been lovely having you in, and hope you have a wonderful tour and keep doing
Thanks.
what you're doing.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you next time you come around Seattle.
Okie dokie.
We're gonna try and come back more often.
Is that an American phrase you're using, Peter?
Actually, I picked it up from when we recorded the Private Suit album, the one before this
Yeah.
one. We had an Englishman on the knobs, and his name was John Parrish, and he always
Yep.
said, "Okie dokie," and he said a lot of times, "I don't think so, Peter."
Which Carol picked up, I think.
Yeah, she did actually. Yeah.
How true.
Bettie Serveert's playing tonight with the Long Winners at the Crocodile. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.
All right.
This is KEXP Seattle.
Well, I overheard an invisible voice miles away in a crumbling hotel. It said, "This is a force like a moving sky." I say, "Forget all you know, we gotta run and hide." You shouted out your heartache nearly every night, and we can just pretend that I can fill these shirt sleeves in with the holiday